And we're just about ready for this. Let's go up to Bob Alexander.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome now to the ring from the blue corner, Wilmer Mejia.
Well, here comes Wilmer Mejia, who is a 23-year-old left-hander who comes to us all the way from Santiago in the Dominican Republic. This is only his 4th fight outside the Dominican Republic. Normally, he's a junior middleweight, but he's moving up to 160 for this matchup, and he will be giving John Duddy a little bit of a different look, Sean, because he is a left-hander, and while Duddy certainly has faced a couple left-handers, here he takes on Mejia.
Well, Duddy took on a left-hander fight before last in Joseph Brady, but it's very confusing. The left-handed stance is like facing a left-handed batter or even a left-handed pitcher. There's more right-handers in boxing, and I guess in sports too. In boxing, it's very confusing. The fighters come at you in a different style. They jab with their right hand, left cross, and right hook, as opposed to left jab, right cross, and left hook. So it's very confusing, but if you know how to fight them, you can handle them.
Well, we'll see how Mejia gets it done, and now let's we'll see how he does. John Duddy will appear.
You think it's John Duddy's group?
I think so.
I think it is.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, entering the ring from the red corner, Ireland's John Duddy.
And so, bagpipes and all, John Duddy, a popular, crowd-pleasing 26-year-old who's originally from Derry in Northern Ireland, has 12 knockouts in 13 fights, all wins, and he creates fireworks often when he fights. We'll see if that happens tonight.
Oh, and he's so excited and exciting to watch. He has a great alacrity toward boxing. His father boxed before him. He's been around the sport. He's been a gym rat, and he loves the sport of boxing. He's here to show his wares tonight.
All right, let's take a look at the tail of the tape in this one and see how they match up. You see that the height is virtually the same and very similar. Interesting, Mejia weighing in at so much more when normally he is a junior middleweight. So he's pretty high up in weight for him. Let's see if that has some impact on his training and how he will perform here tonight. And we're set to go for this middleweight encounter. So let's go to Bob Alexander.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout of the evening is brought to you by Warriors Boxing Promotions in association with Irish Ropes Boxing. This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing in the middleweight division. Your judges scoring this fight at ringside are Peter Trematera, Michael Pernick, and Alex Levin. Your referee in charge of the action is James Waring. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the blue and silver trunks. He weighed in at 163 pounds. His professional record, 15 wins, 4 losses, 2 draws with 11 wins by way of knockout. He comes all the way from Santiago, Dominican Republic. Let's welcome Wilmer Mejia. His opponent fighting out of the red corner, wearing the green with the gold trim. He weighed in at a ready 159 pounds. This young man is undefeated in his professional career. 14 wins, no losses, 11 wins by way of knockout. He comes from Derry in Northern Ireland, now fighting out of the Big Apple, New York City, New York. Here is Ireland's John Duddy. 8 rounds of boxing in the middleweight division. Referee James Waring with the instructions.
Fighters, let's go. Come over here. Fighters, over here. Fighters. Okay, right here. Right here is okay here, okay? Right here is okay, you understand? Both of you guys understand? Touch gloves. Touch gloves.
James Waring, the referee, a former light heavyweight and cruiserweight, a very good fighter. And
terrific boxer and a terrific referee. He's really studied the art of refereeing and really becoming one of the best.
Absolutely, and he'll be officiating over this one. Wilmer Mejia, the Dominican Republic boxer, record of 15-4-2 with 11 KOs. The southpaw, as we mentioned, against John Duddy, who is an explosive fighter. Has 12 knockouts and has 13 wins.
Well, he says of his style, Duddy does, he says, I'm aggressive in the ring. His best punch, he said, well, they're both good. Now, I know he'll put a lot of them on Mejia. There's Mejia trying to fight back, but Duddy on the attack. Look at this. Non-stop punching.
He's very, very aggressive. He had an extensive amateur career, 100 wins, 30 losses as an amateur in Ireland, moved to the United States. He's now fighting out of New York.
Oh, look at that feint. Look at that feint right there. You feint your guy out of the shoes. It's fantastic. Just feint, just a little bit of move like that, jerky move. See what he's going to do. Nice work from Duddy. Look at those left hooks. 4 left hooks.
Well, the way to beat a lefty for the most part is to use those double left hooks on the body and the head, and he is now going after Wilmer Mejia against the ropes.
Left hook and the straight right hand, a real straight right. You're also told to keep your front foot outside your opponent's front foot. And he's doing that, doing everything picture perfect. Good combination from Ireland's John Duddy. No, I'm not going to talk bad about John Duddy. Of course he's my Irishman.
There you go. We're just about halfway.
Exactly.
You're an impartial observer.
I should have worn my green suit today.
Halfway through round number 1, and so far it's been a very good round for Duddy as Wilmer Mejia tries to stay out of harm's way and keeps getting caught against those ropes.
And Mejia's got to get that jab working. A jabbing southpaw is hard to beat. You see that jab, you stand on the internet, that's what confuses you. He's got to get that jab working. On top of him, Duddy.
Well, the head movement so far of Duddy's been pretty good. Mejia trying to counter back, but Duddy slipping a lot of those punches. So very good first round for John Duddy. And you see part of the reason why he's such a popular fighter and why the fans enjoy him so much. He's very aggressive.
It's exciting. You don't see any clinching here. They haven't clinched once. It's Duddy on the attack. The only thing about Duddy is every punch has bad intentions, which I like sometimes I don't. You vary the intensity, it's easier to catch your opponent looking away. Good left hook from Duddy. Every shot, home run ball.
Under a minute left to go. And Mejia again against those ropes and takes another left hook to the body. So this body work by Duddy, very impressive early.
How can you find fault in 14-0 with 11 KOs? John Duddy. You know, he's a machine.
Duddy very aggressive here as we count down the seconds, and certainly Mejia's counting them down in round number 1 in this scheduled 8-rounder of middleweights. Big right hand by Duddy punctuates a superb first round for him. A welcome 1-minute rest for Wilmer Mejia as we follow John Duddy into his corner. Harry Kite gets in there.
I want you to take your time and relax. Yeah. Trying to don't be too hard, right? Relax. But you follow him. Step over. Step over. Right hand to the body, right uppercut, left hook. All right? You're trying just a little bit too hard. Stop trying to knock him out and put the punches together. You know what I'm saying?
Nice
and it happens.
word.
Just keep going to the
Harry
body.
Kite in the corner, George Mitchell.
You know
Nice word. Don't try to knock him out with every shot. That's what they're saying. Here's what's happening. Look at these punches. Good combinations. Look how he's mixing it up, too. Duddy going downstairs to the body, then he comes up to the head. Once a retaliation comes, Duddy uses overt action by trying to get away from it, roll away from it, and come back with your own. Again, the right hand on the inside, a little step over, uppercut. Nice work from John Duddy. A busy first round. A couple of middleweights.
We move into round number 2 of this middleweight encounter, an 8-rounder. John Duddy in the green trunks. What other color could they be? And in the white and blue, it is Wilmer Mejia. as he tries to fend off the aggression of John Duddy. Very good first round for Duddy, who trains in New York. And, you know, in the old days, as you know, they used to chop down trees, the old timers. Well, instead, he ends every workout hitting tires with a sledgehammer, because, as he points out, in New York you get in a lot of trouble if you chop down trees. So they hit a big tires with a sledgehammer. So creative.
That'll make you tired.
Yes, it will. Get a good view of Duddy on the inside, blasting away with that hook.
It's all we've seen from Duddy, all on the inside. But from Mejia, he's got to get something going. Get some punches going, throw, maybe try an uppercut, try a hook on the outside. You know, you got to do something to stop this assault, this attack. And you know what? He's a good fighter himself. Mejia had been around the boxing since he was 7 years old. So he got into boxing because there are a lot of his friends and family that are of Santo Domingo boxing clubs. So he started going to the boxing club in Santo Domingo.
Got off to a great start in his career, 11-0-1, but in his last 8 fights is 4-3-1. So things have slowed down a bit for Mejia. And right now he's having all kinds of problems in the early rounds with John Duddy.
Look at that. Duddy's a buzzsaw. Look at these punches from Duddy too. On the outside, on the inside, a hook, a straight right, a jab from Duddy.
Mejia trying to give him some movement, but it seems always to end with his back against the ropes, as it does here.
And the movement's important now, but once you move, when you maneuver to that new position, you got to strike. And he is not doing that. Good strike from Duddy. Left hook.
And Mejia landed a right hook, and Duddy immediately followed with his own double left. Of course, that's a very effective weapon against the lefty. Under a minute left to go in round one, and finally Mejia's able to land a good jab, and there's another one. So,
I can hear the Irish. Yeah. You hear the Irish people singing up there? That's what they do at all the soccer matches in Ireland. They sing it, and they're singing here. Beautiful, beautiful Irish deep voices.
You unfortunately experienced that when you went to fight James Watt in Ireland. It wasn't as pleasant for you then.
They were singing against me.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem.
That ruined my chances in that fight.
That wasn't very nice of them. Your last name's O'Grady. All right. Remaining seconds here in round number 2. It's been a superb 2 rounds for John Duddy, the youngster, the 26-year-old, fighting out of New York, originally from Derry in Northern Ireland. And he's having his way with Wilmer Mejia.
Boy, a very nice round. Different complexion in this second than back in that first. Remember in that first, Duddy was just going after him.
Now he's kind of start using your right hand. Yeah. Stop following him around. Step over. Yeah. You understand? Because all he's in it to survive. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Step over. Double your right hand. I want your right hand. Stop smothering yourself and stop trying to relax. Yeah. You gotta relax. No problem. You know what I'm saying? Concentrate and relax. Keep your eyes on the prize. Double that jab up. Move your head from side to side. You know what I'm saying? Step over.
Well, there's John Duddy, who is working the combination punches. When one misses, come back with another one. You know, when your opponent ducks, especially the way that Mejia ducks, he takes his eyes off of you, off his opponent. He ducks down, you can clock him.
We're getting ready here for round number 3 in this scheduled 8-rounder. Still to come, remember, a couple of heavyweight matchups. Lance Whitaker, perennial contender, against Sultan Ibragimov. And we're also going to get a chance to look at the wild press conference footage of the press conference leading up to that fight that was held in November. And also then in our main event, Sam Peter taking on Robert Hawkins. Right now, it's John Duddy blasting away on the inside against Wilmer Mejia.
Yeah, that press conference, I think Whitaker wanted to add that to his fight-by-fight, but I don't think it counts, actually.
Well, they did give him a knockout of Samson Lukowicz.
Yeah, that's right. He knocked him out. TKO1, yeah, the manager. And fortunate that he's okay.
Yeah, we're very happy about that.
He had to go to the hospital. And
Samson, before the fight was going with us, he said, I'm on medical suspension. Well, good jab by John Duddy. That's the one weapon we haven't seen a lot of so far from him, but everything else has certainly been landed.
He's trying to put Mejia on medical suspension. Well, the two stepped on their feet. See how close their front feet are? You're constantly, when you fight a southpaw, good jab from Mejia. You fight a southpaw, you're stepping on his foot or he's stepping on yours.
Duddy going down to the body. He's very committed to body work as well as going to the head.
Look at the way Mejia is circling too. Circles a lot to his left. That's into the power of John Duddy. That right hand is where his power is. He runs into that right hand. If he goes the other way, he runs away from the right hand. There's good work. That set up that attack from Duddy.
You know, John Duddy, while he's a very aggressive fighter, Sean, is not a fighter without defensive ability. I mean, he can slip punches and show some defensive acumen.
Look at that. He misses, makes his opponent miss, and then it counters. Miss and counter. Make your opponent miss, then rack him.
A little over a minute left to go here in round number 3. The scheduled 8-rounder, and there's more of same. Duddy just pummeling Wilmer Mejia, but Mejia fighting back with a good straight left hand there.
He's trying to fight back a little bit more this round as Mejia than he was in that first and second. Kind of getting loosened up a bit.
Staying off the ropes a little bit, but eventually always gets driven to the ropes. There's a nice straight right hand by Duddy.
I tell you, Mejia's tough. He's hanging in there.
He's taking some big shots to both the body and the head.
And he's trying to set up an attack. He looks a bit confused at this pressure from Duddy. And he's waiting for Duddy to tire out. I don't think John's going to tire out.
Probably not over 8 rounds, that's for sure. So another big round for John Duddy, a transplanted Irishman who is fighting out of New York. Doing it quite well, we might add. So round 3 passes into the night, and it does so with a flurry of good punches by John Duddy. Well, lots of famous boxing celebs in the audience. None much more famous than this guy. Nick Charles is with a great guy.
He is. Everybody loves Angelo Dundee. Angie, we're in your town now, baby.
Oh, thank God. I mean, how about this Hard Rock? Isn't it great?
Fabulous place to watch a fight, not a bad seat in the house. Angelo, impressions of John Duddy.
John Duddy looks like a heck of a looking prospect. He's fighting the southpaw, and he's fighting the only way you know how, with aggression. And this kid ain't bad. He's fighting.
How's he making it tough on Duddy?
Well, no, Duddy's fighting the only way you can fight a southpaw. You got to take him job, get him. If he waits on the southpaw, he's liable to get himself licked.
Right.
So he's fighting him the only way he knows how, with aggression. That's the way he wins.
But how's this other guy making it a little difficult for Duddy?
Well, he's smart, he's slick, and he got a good right hook for a southpaw. That's a heck of a weapon.
Nothing better than seeing Angelo Dundee ringside at any fight. Thanks, Angie. Back to you, Al.
Couldn't agree with that any more than that, Nick.
No, he's the best.
Angelo's a wonderful guy.
He's always in a good mood, too.
He's
always in a good mood.
It's
great to hear him to say, too, you know, if he doesn't hold his hands up, he will get licked.
Well, guess what?
It's
This
always
fight
licked.
is over.
Wow.
Wilmer Mejia has
That's all.
decided that discretion is the better part of valor, and he's done for the evening. And so the onslaught of John Duddy over 3 rounds got it done. And he shows why people are so excited about him. He's a 26-year-old who now has 14 wins as a pro, had 13 going into this, and gets his 13th stoppage among his 14 wins. And it's a crowd-pleasing, fun style to watch.
It is fun to watch him fight, and he, you know, like I said earlier, he's excited about the sport of boxing. He loves boxing. His father far before him. He's been around the ring his whole life. You know, first fight at 7 years old, he looked up to Barry McGuigan, Ken Buchanan, you know, all the great fighters, and he's a tough guy too. He had 130 as an amateur, got his jaw broke in one of the fights, and he was more upset about not being able to represent his country in the Olympics than he was about the breaking of his jaw. He said that hurt him more than the actual break. And
he's a gamer, that's for sure. And the thing I think you have to like about John Duddy is while he's an aggressive fighter who makes exciting fights, and it's a nice kiss for a job well done.
Good thing he won.
Yeah, really. What you have to like about him is he's a technically sound fighter, Sean.
Yeah. He's got his head on his shoulders straight. He thinks in the ring. You can see him bobbing and weaving. He's got all the moves and more savvy than a fighter of his age. He's bobs and weaves. He takes his time. He's patient. Patience works out well, and some of that in the corner of Wilmer Mejia. We are told that he broke his hand, and they, of course, wouldn't know until they put an X-ray on it. But, well, I tell you, he's a tough kid to hang in there for as long as he did.
So, obviously, a hand injury, at least ostensibly the reason for that stoppage, and James Waring tells us.
And I'll tell you, Al, when you break a hand, even the other hand hurts. When you hit with the other hand, it'll shake your hand that's broken, and it's terrible pain.
All right,
you get also
so
a garlic taste in your mouth. Ugh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's send things up to Bob Alexander.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Hard Rock Live Arena here at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, the ringside physician has advised that this fight be stopped due to a broken hand suffered by Wilmer Mejia. Referee James Waring stops this bout. Unable to answer the round number 4 is Mejia. Your winner by technical knockout, John Duddy.
14th win as a professional for John Duddy, the 13th stoppage, and his train keeps on rolling toward what he hopes certainly will be a shot at some point at a world title. He's probably a little bit away from that, but nevertheless, he's a middleweight on the rise, and we'll hear more from